very good friend of mine who believes in God, and we debate. We debate all the time about our stance and about what is important to us, and about, more than anything, we just debate about the relevance of the subjective experience.
This is a video response. The link to the original video is below. I really enjoy this YouTuber. I think she has a lot to offer and look forward to future videos from her. Her name is... Yes, I did not want to mangle it with inappropriate pronunciation, so I hope you received the visual aid well. So let's get started here. I'm going to start out by reading the words in the description box of her video. Then I'm going to share with you and with her my thoughts. These are her words that are to follow. Just venting. I love her a lot, but I felt disgusting after we talked. I always figured I feel outcast by religious fanatics, but I really never thought I feel so outcast by someone who typically makes me feel so warm and welcome. I know it's just a feeling. I know I'm only misunderstood, and that feeling outcast is my own internalization of the reality. I just hope that this situation can help me grow into the type of atheist that operates from a point of understanding and not aggression. I never want to push anyone away whose path is a righteous one. There is work to do. There are all types of workers. So many things already divide people with a common goal in mind. When we work against each other because we are so sure of ourselves, we are closer to arrogant than selfless. Even when we feel we have the best reason and a pure motive, I don't want to be that person pushing anyone away because it's counterproductive, and not to mention it feels bad, both to push and to be pushed. I am humbled. After reading those words and watching your video, I felt the need to respond. So here are some of my thoughts. Hopefully I can articulate myself well. Allowing people to operate, to create, to live in the manner that is best for them is a difficult lesson to learn. When engaging in communication that is potentially volatile, I suggest to know your purpose and the purpose of the other. Many times when we are establishing and refining value systems, we fail to realize the power of differing perspectives. Our willingness to be tolerant of these differing perspectives is directly proportional to our ability to increase our awareness. Restraining from the need to prove or persuade, unless desired, of course, becomes essential for respect to exist within the communication. Now, when we cross the line of allowance to conversion, then we have actively dismissed the other's preference or preferences, and it becomes a matter of control. Normally, the attempt to convert is justified by subjective means of rationale. Engaging and examining one's worldview demands standards of evidence. One needs, depending on the individual's objectives, to determine how strong a position is when sharing it with the world or being comfortable within one's worldview. But a standard of evaluation is normally what is used to make determinations. Polarity paradigms of all sorts will rapidly bring one to grips with a standard of evaluation, though I do not think it's the only paradigm which massages its use. a logical standard, aesthetic standard, an ethical standard, and a practical standard are the ones toggled from and to in shaping opinion or launching us into a wider awareness. However, each standard requires a certain arena, a level of knowledge, maturity, and realization that it is being applied. Many times when discussing perspectives, not only do we struggle with subjective versus objective, but unknowingly to some we battle with what lens of evaluation is being applied and what standard of evidence is required by the participants to eradicate confusion. You know, it's a jolt to the heart to be rejected or to be evaluated due to differences. Indeed, it is a lonely path when one is excluded. Those that walk with us, share with us, and help us to become better can be particularly crushing when a curveball is thrown by them. Indeed, whatever emotion one may share from a given experience can be as an incorporation within and may or may not be actuality. However, it is what it is to the one who is experiencing. Tolerance for differences, especially regarding God, religion, or spirituality, is a maturity that is formed by fitting various emotion or emotional and mental components together. Now, humankind feels or thinks it pertinent to classify things. It's one way we can learn. This classification is expounded to bring order, to rid us of disorderly conduct and abstractions. We seek, on average, like-mindedness and that which we deem close or warm. Conversely, we consciously, perhaps unconsciously, in overgeneralization, label everyone else as other. Other is not an essential characteristic that is inferior or negative. We may be on the same level for some things, or maybe I should say we may be the same on some levels, but on others we are radically different. With the passage of time, many labels or the act of being labeled transforms and negative connotations sprout in its wake, just like a weed in a perfect lawn. A label can often produce a trammel. I believe I'm pronouncing that correct. Trammel, via a binocular illusion. A trammel is a restraint that confines. So the restraint in this case being a mental process or processes. This particular course of action can employ the engaging of minimization or magnification, resulting in a person equaling a single word. How messed up is that, right? But it happens. When a friend does this, though, then encouraging similarities is probably a good place to start. Many times this can help with the flexibility. The flexibility needed to see something greater than what we perceive on our own accord. However, this depends on many factors. The value of the relationship can be motivation to break past certain intolerant mental traps, but this does not help, the heart when it's wounded, when your feelings are hurt. Yeah? Many times when a major difference between people becomes apparent when it sinks into the mind of a participant or participants. They may have already known, let's say, X, Y, or Z about someone, but the information had not settled within them where the internal impact could be felt, or the information may be expressed for the first time, which can generate a more acute reaction, start drama, whatever. Prevents transparency from existing, just makes things darn difficult. Keeping this in mind, another suggestion I would offer when dealing with a friend that is trapped by their worldview, and we all become trapped at times, is to use the said incident that occurred as an opportunity for learning. Yeah, it may sound corny, but really, consider this. If communication continues, you can use the opportunity to show this friend that they have participated in the ritual of branding. Remind or educate them that branding has a dual function. It is a public promotion of what you have become to them. Again, really think about this. It's a public promotion of what you have become to them by taking on the questionable other status. It functions just like the label on a product being sold. It is a constant reminder to the subconscious. Explain that this other status label serves as an advertisement to the camp who makes the distinction and encourages the formulation of all or nothing thinking. Show that a flaw forms and the prior mindset is disrupted and altered. Then you can point out the identification via the labeling and the conscious action it takes. This affects tolerance and promotes or encourages stereotypical responses. Finding common ground can be part of the remedy that soothes the abrasion of never working backwards, as you put it. Never working backwards. It comes down to if that individual can respect the similarities you share and the differences you have. Differing perspectives does not have to be a permanent roadblock for any of us. I'm going to leave you with 3 quotes. I think I can recite them. I hope that I can correctly. The first is going to be on understanding, the next on love, and the final one on tolerance. Tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I'll understand. That's a Chinese proverb. Love is not written on paper, for paper can be erased, nor is it etched on stone, for stone can be broken, but it is inscribed on a heart, and there it shall remain forever. Now, the author of this particular quote, I'm not sure of. I'm not even sure if the author was ever known, but I do like those words. And the last, tolerance implies no lack of commitment to one's own beliefs. Rather, it condemns the oppression or persecution of others. That's from John F. Kennedy. Thank you for taking the time out to listen. I hope that what I had to say was of some worth and that it was not in vain. Again, I really learned a lot from your video, and from really taking in what you had to say gave me a lot to think about. So thank you for that.
My main goal in developing myself to become a better person or what have you is developing my capacity for love, my capacity for understanding, my capacity for tolerance. And no, I don't believe in God, and I don't think that you need to believe in God to be a spiritual person. But for me, the ability to see beauty in even ugly things and in painful things is a spiritual experience. To be able to extract meaning from a mundane occurrence, to be able to extract beauty from a mundane occurrence, to be able to describe things in a beautiful manner that might just be regular to the next person. Those things are spiritual to me.